So hey guys, I guess we're live now. Just waiting for Avani to show up, and then we can get the session started. So I'm sorry guys, I'm not going to be able to interact with chat while I'm doing the session. That's not respectful to Avani, who paid for this session. But if you want to get one of these sessions yourself, the link at the top of the description will help you with that. So far, I've gotten a lot of positive feedback. I think that it's really helpful for just about anyone. So it's definitely worth checking out. Whoa, we got a lot more viewers than I was expecting.
Hey, Brody.
Whoa, we got a lot more viewers than I was expecting. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Oh, wait, I'm going to close up your live video.
Hey, Brody. Oh, we got a lot more. Can you turn off the volume for it?
What?
Can you turn off the volume for it? Because I can hear it through your end as well.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. So, how long have you been cubing?
I started cubing in October 2017.
Okay, so you've definitely made a lot of progress for how long you've been cubing. So I took a look at these solves earlier, and now I'm going to go through at 0.25 speed and sort of point out everything that I can to help you get faster.
Okay.
If you have any questions, you can interrupt me at any time, and I'll answer whatever you need.
Okay. Also, this is not my main cube, so...
What cube are you using here?
Here I'm using the Usual Little Magic M.
Okay.
So, I'm trying to decide between my TTS2M and this one. So, I don't know what do I do right now.
Well, while I was watching this, I sort of noticed that you tend to turn really fast, and then you do have some lockups, but I'm not sure if that's because of the cube or because of the way you're turning.
Okay.
So let's take a look at this. So it looks like your cross is pretty good. You've got some lockups here, but it's good that you're planning everything out. It looks relatively efficient.
Okay.
So then you don't. Let's see which. Okay, you're doing
orange,
green and orange.
Yeah.
So let's go back a little bit. So the solution that you did for this pair, where you do double sexy and then rotate and insert it, I think that's okay in this case because you have to cube rotate anyway. But do you know the other solution where, like, if you have that in the front right, you do RU2 R prime, and then
no.
Well, let me see if I can give you sort of an example here, because there is another solution to something like this. So if you have this pair, that needs to go in the back. If you do a Y rotation and then U2, you can do R prime U2 R, and then U R prime U prime R, and that will solve the pair.
Oh, okay.
I'd say like this, the solution that you do, which you do a lot in this average, that's good in certain situations, but it's good to keep in mind that you have a lot of options. So then you have there, and then you have this is the same case as before, but you spot this right away. So it seems like your look ahead is pretty good.
Okay.
Okay, so you have sort of a variation of that same solution here. And it seems like it's working out pretty well.
Okay.
So you insert that. Actually, so you do R. It's actually sort of the same thing. So you do sexy move and then RU to R prime. But if you just did from this angle RU to R prime, you can see that leaves your edge here, and then your corner is here, and then you can insert it in the back.
Okay.
And then that sets you up for this pair, and that looks like a pretty easy pair. And you spot that right away. There are like 2 good solutions for that, and that's one of them. So that's good as well.
Okay.
And here's the other thing I noticed. It seems like you don't know many OLLs.
Yeah, I don't. I'm working on that.
Yeah, that's something I'd say you're at the right speed where you can start working on that. Like this one's one of the easier ones as well.
Yeah.
So but 2-look is fine as well. So you do 2-look, then you do your soon.
So also I learned the lefty move for this case, the second look OLL, the second algorithm.
The soon or?
Yeah, the soon.
I think it's best to just do that from the front. But if you want to do it from the back and save some moves, that can work as well.
Okay.
So then you got this J-perm, and the algorithm that you do is what I would do for one-handed, but it sort of works out because you already had it from that angle anyway.
Okay.
There's the algorithm that a lot of people use goes like R prime, U, L prime, that sort of alg, and
okay.
that's probably something worth looking into, but it's definitely not too bad that you're doing that kind of algorithm. So then you got 1426, and so it seems like you have a lot of the fundamentals. Your look ahead is particularly good as well.
Okay, so what do you think I should like work on?
The one thing is your efficiency. Your efficiency is good most of the time, but with some cases it can be a bit better. Like just learning more solutions for different cases. So let's also take a look at your cross here.
Oh, I also forgot to post the scrambles.
Oh, that's okay. I can get most of the information I'll need from just looking at this.
Okay. I think my cross was bad on that one.
That looks like a lot of that looked like a lot of moves, but it wasn't too bad, I don't think. I think that like it's better to like if you plan out your entire cross, no matter how inefficient it is, it's still going to be all right. So it's good that you're planning it all out, but it can definitely be faster if you make it a little bit more efficient, and that just comes with time and practice. So I'm not sure what F2L pair you have here that would be okay. Yes. So
I just wanted to tell you this thing, that the only reason I'm not using the usual little magic M is because of this certain piece, that the red-green piece, the red-green edge, it weirdly just pops out. The whole cube is really good, and the tensions are like quite tight. I mean, I got it already set up by Cube Lelo, which is an Indian brand. So they set it up for me, but the thing was that only the red-green piece pops out really often, and even when I'm doing slow solves. So I don't know what's wrong with that, and the other pieces don't pop out at all, and if they do by accident, okay, they don't pop out. But if instead of the red green piece, if you insert some other piece, it's like seriously hard to insert that piece. So the tensions are that tight, but I don't know what's wrong with the red green piece. So I would use this as my main, but that's the only problem.
Yeah, that sounds strange. It might be something wrong with the shape of the piece or something. I'm not sure. So you have this pair, and I'd say that's the best choice. But you don't have to cube rotate for it. You can do from here. You can do L prime U L U prime a bunch of times from this angle, and that will solve it instead of cube rotating and doing triple sexy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure, I'll do.
So you got that. Then I see this pair, and I'm not sure if there's anything else. Okay, you got this edge and that edge. What could you do here?
I haven't watched the average myself.
Well, that's okay. We can take a look. Okay, so you're doing this. You're doing green and orange, and this is an interesting solution. I've never So you take out the edge. So U prime, take out the edge, and then connect it. And I think that's all right. But what you can do is if you do a U from this angle, so your corner is over here, and then you do F prime, U prime, F. So your edge is out here. Then that sets up for an RU R prime insert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Flip when the edge is flipped in its slot. That's one of the most difficult F2L cases, and this is actually quite an interesting solution. But then you've got this pair, which you need to cube rotate for, and then I think you have this one. Yep. So let's see what you do here. That's good. And then you have this case.
All right, I cube rotated again. That was too many cube rotations.
Yeah, but that's the case we went over, and now you know.
Yeah.
And you got OLL.
Okay.
So actually, so you do F double sexy F prime for 2-look. Yeah. This OLL, if you from this angle, if you do lefty F double sexy or like F prime lefty double sexy F, that's what this OLL is.
Oh, okay.
Not a huge deal because of course, like I wouldn't say it's a mistake to not know OLLs, but that's something that you can start working on. And then you've got a Y perm.
1 minute. I'm gonna close my door. That's just a little. Okay. Yeah. So the way I learned OLLs is either so the easy ones, which like a few easy ones that I can spot. Those I learned by myself, and a few that's what I did for PLLs. A few easy ones that I could spot, I learned on my own. The others I learned from your tutorials. So your tutorials are really helpful for me.
Thank you.
That's what I'm going for.
So I actually should make more OLL videos. I haven't made those in a long time.
Yeah.
So then you do your Y perm. And then this one was an 18. And so this is the other thing I noticed is that it looks like you have the skill to average like 13 or 14 seconds, but for some reason you're a little bit inconsistent.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. So sometimes I'm getting my average 15, 16, and sometimes it's 13, 14, but sometimes it's just like 18. So I don't know how to be consistent. Can you tell me that?
It's harder to be consistent before you know full OLL, because if you get like a .OLL or something like that, it's going to take a lot longer than if you just get a soon.
Yeah.
So I think that will help with consistency, and then consistency is just hard. So this looks like a very easy cross, and you did that well. And then you've got, red and blue right here.
Let's start it.
That was good. So then you've got this corner, the red and green, and then I think that's the edge. No, it's not, but you spot that. And like I think it's fine that you cube rotated for that because it was really hard to spot that in the back.
Yeah.
So then you solve that. I'm not sure if you saw, but I think that your blue and orange pair is connected here.
Okay.
I think you might have missed that, but not actually it wasn't. Never mind. So then that was good. There is sort of an advanced F2L way to do that, but it's not super important. And then you've got this flipped edge case, and yep, there are lots of ways to solve that, and that's one of the good ones. That was very good.
Okay, so I've noticed one thing while looking at this with you, that I cube rotate a lot, so I've got to reduce that a bit.
You do, but it's not really bad. Sometimes you cube rotate when you don't have to, but you don't have like really bad habits. Like some people will cube rotate just to look for pieces, whereas for you it looks like sometimes you cube rotate to solve pairs when you don't have to, and that's a much easier habit to fix. So then you've got this. OLL, and then you got anti-soon.
I love anti-sim for some reason.
Yeah, and then you get this uperm, and
Oh, I just learned the M move algs for the uperm, so I'm not very good with them, but I think they're a little bit faster than my other R move algs.
yeah, I think they're faster. I can definitely tell that you're still learning like the. So do you use your right hand for the M2 moves?
Yeah,
Okay, so
that's faster.
and then so then if you're doing that, then you should use your left hand for this U2 because
Yeah.
that and then technically a +2, but we can ignore that for now.
Yeah, okay.
So that's so it's good that you're learning that uperm algorithm. Oh, and also this isn't really related to the sessions, but thank you for cutting out the scrambling. That makes this way easier.
Yeah. So so I asked my dad if so he was the one who put it over my head.
Yeah.
Like he had to put it over my head. And he's like, I don't think you should put in the scramble. It'll be too long and a little boring too. So I was
So
like, sure.
that makes it easier. Thank you. So again, you have an easy cross here. You do that really quickly.
Yeah.
That was good. So
Okay.
the first thing that you see, okay, you're doing red and green. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so it's the same solution that you had before. You take it out and then connect it.
Yeah.
So again, what you can do here, and it's kind of hard to show from this angle, is if you do U, then you can do F prime, U prime F, and then
Okay.
U and insert it in the back. Solve that. And here's an example. Let's see, if you do blue and red here, I think that's the correct.
I think I did blue and red.
Okay, yeah, that's very good. It's especially good that you didn't cube rotate for it. I know a lot of people that would cube rotate and then see it and solve it and then cube rotate again to solve it. But you just waited and saw it and didn't cube rotate. So then you got this blue and orange pair that's already ready, which you take a second to spot, but that was good.
And then I see the orange green.
So there is a better way to solve orange green.
Yeah.
So I'll show you that. So you got your corner in its slot down here, and then you got the edge right here. If you move over the edge to right here where the U move, and then
the R2U alg.
Then from if you do U here, and then you can do double sexy, and that will solve it.
Okay.
And that's just a few moves you can save. Okay. So here's something that's so there's a little bit of a lockup here, but that's not a big deal. Here's something I noticed here. This is something that's kind of advanced, but it's good to point out is that I can tell right here that you're going to get a diagonal swap PLL because you notice you have this red and this red, so that matches. But then you've got blue and green that's opposite. If you because you have these blocks, if you did U2 and then did the lefty version of this, I think you would have gotten a PLL skip.
Oh, okay.
Like that's getting into some really advanced stuff.
Okay.
But then you just get your Y perm, and then that was still really good. That was still a very good solve.
I think at this point, oh no. So during this average of 12, I got my average of 5 and average of 12 PB, like during.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So the average of 5 was 13.40, and the average of 12 was I think 14.90.
Pretty good. So it looks like this one, the cross was cut out, but that's all right. So then we set up this orange and green, solve that. That was good. you do that same thing with that green and red pair that we pointed out. And here you've got blue, and it's kind of hard to see. You have blue and orange is your best option here.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of taking it out like that, what you can do.
I figured out a better solution for this.
Yeah, what you can do is move over your corner right here and then connect them with R, U prime, R prime.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what you should do for this case. And that, again, just saves a few moves.
Yeah, I figured that out while solving, like, yesterday or something. So I use that now.
Yeah, and it's good to figure that stuff out on your own. That's very good as well. And so this is another case where you don't have to cube rotate.
Oh, so what I'll do for this?
So that was the triple sexy case. So you can do that from any angle. So, for example, so if you still have orange in front, you could do U2 and then do R prime U, R U prime a bunch of times.
Okay.
And so then you cube rotate for that. You get this OLL.
Yeah. That was
and then you get another Y perm.
That's weird. I've got another Y perms.
Yeah, you got a lot in this average. So then you do that.
I'm actually okay with Y perms. Oh yeah, that's my PB average of 5 and 12.
Oh, nice. That's pretty good. So then on this one, I think at the beginning it's hard to see what we're doing, but I'll take a look once it gets in frame.
Okay.
So that looks like an all right cross. Maybe it's hard to tell much about it. So
Yeah.
I think what you have here is the green and red pair right here, but we'll see. Okay, yep, that's what you did. But with orange in front, you didn't have to cube rotate to solve it. You could just do U and then take it out from this angle.
Okay.
So you cube rotate, you take out the pair. And then you've got blue and orange and green and orange. Okay, you solved green and orange. That was very good. Especially good that you were looking ahead for it. There is a better way to solve this. I mean, that, and it works specifically because you haven't solved your blue and red pair yet. But what you can do is do U prime and then R prime U R, and that will set up this blue and orange pair for an RU R prime insert.
One more thing I wanted to ask you is when you have that case, but like suppose the orange, so the orange edge was right now in place of the yellow edge, the yellow edge on the right.
Oh, so right here.
Yeah, and the white sticker was okay. So okay, I'm not gonna explain it like this. So basically, I'm gonna tell you. So where your cursor is right now, there.
Yeah.
And the corner behind it, the orange corner, right? If those two have the same, color, and the white on the corner is towards the right side. So I'm bad at that case, and I really wanted a solution for that.
So you have white on the right, and then you would have both blue on top here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so for that one, that you'd have to cube rotate for. So for that, if you do, that's actually the mirror of this case. So what you can do is, with it right here, you can do R, U prime, R prime, and then U2, and then cube rotate and insert the pair.
Oh, okay. Because I'm bad at that one.
Yeah, that's a difficult case. That was a very good question. So you set up that. And then that's the same case that you said you learned.
Yeah.
So it looks like you haven't learned how to do left-handed double flicks yet.
Oh, I have, but so I've been practicing a lot this week. I filmed this video last weekend, but this week I was basically just practicing 3x3 and I totally forgot about this. So this week I've practiced a lot of left hand and a little bit more of look ahead and some other things that I told you I've improved.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very good stuff to practice. So then you do your 2-look OLL.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have this OLL. Very nice. And then you have a T-prime. And you also have very good habits when it comes to last layer. Like a lot of people will cube rotate in last layer when they don't have to, and you don't do any of that, which is very good. So then, this looks like the first difficult cross, or the first more difficult cross in this average. So we'll see what you do here. Yeah, that was good.
Okay.
So then you've got this pair, and then I'm guessing that you're going to go straight into green and orange after that.
I don't remember that.
Or let's see, what did you spot?
Okay, so I didn't see green and orange, I'm guessing.
Okay, so you're doing green and red. Let's take a look at that. I'm not exactly sure where was, sorry, okay. So.
Wait, how about let's crumble again, because I can.
No, I see what you did now. You took out this green and red edge, and then your corner's down here. So you take it out, and then set it up with U2, RU2, R prime. And I'd say that's a pretty difficult F2L case, and that's basically the best thing you could find for something like that.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good. So you take that out. You cube rotate. Oh yeah, and then here you took a second to remember this edge insert.
Yeah, I did it a little. Yeah, I did it twice by mistake.
Then you fix that, and there are about like 5 or 6 different edge insert algorithms, and they're all good. So then again, you don't have to cube rotate for that, but that's still a good solution. And then here you do know this OLL.
Yeah, I spotted it a little late.
Did you know that OLL, or did you just do 2-look and it happened to skip?
No, I know that OLL.
Okay, that's good. So then you cube rotate
17 out of 57.
So you cube rotate for this PLL, which I think is all right because it was lined up. And then you just do your J-perm. And so that was good. It looks like sometimes you're having trouble finding the space bar at the end of your solves really quickly. Is that something that happens sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, well, it's not that important because, of course, when you go to a competition, you'll have the hand timer, and that's easier to know where
I do some stuff, so I work with that.
Okay, let's keep going on. So let's take a look. By this point, I'm guessing that you only do white cross.
Yeah, no, I do yellow, but I'm not really good at it. I need a little more practice with yellow.
Yeah, that's a good thing to practice. I just do white and yellow, and I think that's completely fine.
Yeah, but so I do yellow sometimes when I don't when I have like a really bad white cross, or I spot the yellow cross and it's really easy. but I seriously need practice with it because after the cross, I am bad at guessing the F12 pairs.
Yeah, that's one of the difficult things about new cross colors. Okay,
Switching colors?
yeah, this one looks kind of difficult. I think you handled it pretty well. It's not like normally it's not good to cube rotate during cross, but it doesn't look like you had a lot of choices there.
Okay, that was lagging. Can you repeat that?
So that looked like by far the most difficult cross so far in this average. And
okay,
it took a lot of moves and some cube rotations. And that's normally not good, but it didn't look like you had many better choices. So then I think you're going, let's see, what do you, okay, you're setting up blue and red. Let's take a look at that again. So,
oh, okay.
yeah, so I'd say the way you did that was pretty good. It just happens that you sort of missed some easier options when you did that. So we can take a look at that again.
Okay.
So I'd say your best option is probably blue and orange, where the edge is right here and the corner's right here. But you could also do green and orange here.
Yeah.
But okay, blue and red, that's going to be a difficult pair no matter what in that situation.
Okay.
Then you solve that. Then you go straight into okay, you're doing green and orange. So let's oops, I went back too far. So green and orange is flipped in slot. So you take that out.
Oh yeah, I have watched your videos on that case, but I usually forget to implement it.
Yeah, but that was pretty good. That's basically the solution I taught, except with a few extra U moves. So that was pretty good.
Okay.
Then you got blue and orange here, and I think you have red and green here. Let's.
Yeah, so the blue and orange pair was the one I was talking about earlier, like that kind of case.
Here you do U prime, R, U prime, R prime, and then that sets it up for a 3-move insert.
Okay.
Okay, but you do connect this. Okay, that was very good. And then you take that out. And that was good as well.
Yeah.
So the first pair was difficult, but then your F2L was good.
Okay.
And so you do your OLL. And then this was something kind of strange that I saw. I've never seen this N-perm algorithm before, where you do an A-perm. You do an A-perm. You do an A-perm and then go into an F-perm. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, so that is basically because I have been procrastinating learning N-perms for the longest time. And the thing is that now I know N-perms that one of them, after doing an A-perm, it's going to give me a T-perm. And one of them, after doing an N-perm, it's going to give me, an A-perm, it's going to give me an F-perm. So I've basically memorized that, so it doesn't have the middle, like, time gap between it. But yeah, it's still slow. It's really slow.
Yeah, it's slow, but
So I've got to
N-perms are so rare that it's not that bad.
Okay.
So it's not the worst thing, actually, just because of how rare N-perms are. So then you do this.
Wait, no, but I actually get N-perms quite often.
That's strange. The N-perms are So the N perms, the H perm, and PLL skip are the rarest PLL cases. So that's.
I get so most of the times I get N perms or J perms or Y perms.
You have been
or
getting,
sometimes other perms too, but
you have been
yeah,
getting
I
a lot of
get N perms.
you have been getting a lot of Y perms, but they're much more common. So
Okay.
so it's strange if you do get a lot of N perms. So then you get that, and that I think is the worst time in your average.
Yeah, that is. So the reason you're seeing different times on this is because this one the piece had popped and my dad told me to delete the solve, and that's what happened a couple of earlier times too. That's why you see a different solve on the screen, but the average of 5 and the average of 12 are still the same because I deleted those solves.
Yeah, so I think it's fine. There's not much I can teach you when there's a pop in the middle of a solve, so I think that's fine. So then you've got this. This looks pretty difficult, actually. We'll see how it goes. Okay, yeah, that was pretty good. So then you've got this green and orange pair, and that was good as well. You insert that, and then I think you should go straight into red.
I think
Yes, that was good as well.
okay.
Then this one you actually have easy F12. This one, yes.
Yeah, that case. That's
And then,
easy.
and then if you did this, the solution that I showed you for this case, then that would be really, really easy F12. It's still, like, this is still all right. It's just a little bit slower. So then you solve that. You go.
Oh, I have figured out a better case for that though. I have figured out.
Yeah.
I think you showed me. The one you told me.
Yeah. And that one's I think the best one.
Yeah.
So then you get another soon. And a J perm, yes. So overall, that was a very good solve.
So at this point of time, what do you think I should be improving on?
So like I so your efficiency sometimes when it comes to like certain F12 cases, a lot of the time you're really good, but just with a few specific cases, you could be more efficient. And then with your turning, sometimes you're locking up. But
Yeah.
your turning speed and your look ahead are really good. It's just sometimes you have lockups. And so those are the two main things I've seen so far. We'll see if anything else shows up on these last few solves. Okay, that looks like a pretty good cross. There was a cube rotation, but if you're done with cross at 1.8 and you have to do a cube rotation for it, that's completely fine. That's a relatively fast cross. So let's see what.
Okay, that was. You repeat that? That was really laggy.
So you did green and blue and red, or what? Blue and orange. Okay, so let's take a look at how you could do blue and orange. So you cube rotate, and from here you could do U2 L prime UL to connect blue and orange. So what you do is you rotate again, you take it out, and then that's set up. And you rotate again. Let's see what happens here. Okay, you're doing green. You're doing green and red. That was good. There were a few extra cube rotations there, but that's not too bad. So then you got the easy pair is red and blue, and then you got a really difficult green and orange.
Hear you.
You can't hear me?
Oh no, it's better now.
Okay, that's good. So that was pretty good actually. And then you've got you did some extra cube rotations here. So I've been noticing that you have this one solution that you do whenever white is on top, but there is another one that's important to know. So from this angle with red in front, what you can do is connect them with R prime U2R.
Yeah.
And that's what I do that's what I do almost all the time when white is on top, is I connect them like that instead of doing the way you set up to like that.
Wait. Isn't that what I've done?
So a lot of the time, like if you had if your edge, if the green and orange edge was right here instead, then what you do is R prime UR U2 and then insert that, and that's what you do. But from here,
That's what I've done. Okay, so what I usually would do is the U2R. That's what I usually do.
So yeah, then from here, U prime, R prime U2R, and then you can solve them. So then you've got your two-look OLL. Then you've got the L case. And then another Y prime. What is that, like 4 or 5 in this average? 4 or 5 Y primes?
Yeah.
So I think that I think this is the last solve in the average. So let's take a look at this. It looks like a pretty difficult cross. So you do that.
Yeah, it should be the last.
And that looks kind of difficult, but you handled it pretty well. I was all right, I'd say. So then
at this point, I'm realizing that. Oh wait. What's wrong? Something is wrong. Okay. Yeah. So that I shouldn't have taken out the blue-red pair, and I mean, I shouldn't have put it in. I should have already taken it out. So that's what I'm realizing now.
Yeah.
I could have done that.
And you could have also done other pairs instead and just left that for later. But since that was the first thing you saw, I think doing this is all right. So you take that out, solve that, and then that sets up your blue and orange really well. So yep, you see that, you take it out. You accidentally insert it in the wrong spot though.
Oh, I do?
Yeah. And you'll realize that later, I think. So I think then you see there. So you see that.
What have I done in that one?
Yeah, you did U3 there to connect it, but then you insert that, and then you see this pair again, and you go straight into that. Oh wait, no. You do.
Okay, that's a back solve though.
Yeah, that was a little bit rough, and I think that's all because you inserted blue and orange in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
I think that's a mistake you've only made once here. I don't think that's a big deal.
Yeah, I don't do that a lot.
That's just going to happen sometimes, and it's really difficult to correct it or deal with it. So then you get soon. And then I think this is going to skip. Yep.
I'd skip.
So you got a little bit lucky there. and that PLLs get made up for the
solve.
well.
Yeah.
So I think now we can go over some more general thoughts of what you can do. And if you have any last questions, then you can ask them and I'll answer them as much as I can. So the biggest thing that I'm seeing is sometimes your efficiency isn't quite good enough.
Okay.
And it's only with, like with the basic cases, you do the basic cases perfectly. But with some of the more difficult ones, that's where some of the mistakes start to appear. And so what you can do is look at a lot of walkthrough solves and sort of see what really fast people do. And if you see something that is new to you, it's probably good to learn. So that
I go over this channel on YouTube. I've seen like Felix Zendex teaches on that. I forgot the channel's name.
Cube Skills.
Yeah, Cube Skills.
And I think Cube Skills is a great resource. That's definitely the first place I'd go for walkthrough solves and tutorials and stuff. So I think that's a very good choice. So then the next thing I'd say, and you notice this as well, is cube rotations, where sometimes you'll cube rotate to look for pieces, but that's very rare. And sometimes you'll cube rotate to solve a pair when you don't actually have to. And so there's a special trick that I know for recognizing when you do or don't need to cube rotate for an F2L pair, and it's hard to sort of explain without showing something. But I mentioned it in a video, and I'll link to that part of the video. I'll email you the link after the session. So that's how I'd sort of work on cube rotating less, is by sort of doing untimed solves, and before you do each pair, sort of think about whether or not you need to cube rotate.
Okay.
And then the last thing, which you're already working on, is you're learning full OLL. That's something where I definitely think you're ready for. But like I've said, you have a lot of the fundamentals there. Your look ahead is very good, especially for your speed. Your turning is good. You do lock up some, but I think that might be because of the cube. And that will get better as you solve more and practice more.
Yeah, so I think back to my GTS.
Yeah, I think that's worth a try as well. So do you have any last questions?
Oh yeah, so basically these are all the things that I work to become sub 15, but what happens like after that?
After sub 15, that's where look ahead becomes a very big deal.
Okay.
Look ahead and efficiency are really, really important once you're sub 15, and you'll sort of get a hang of that better as you progress. So look ahead, which you already have a very good fundamental understanding of. Efficiency you're working on and you're already pretty good at it. And then efficiency when it comes to cross becomes much, much more important, because if your cross is really efficient, it lets you find a first pair after that, or it lets you build X crosses. And if you do something like that to make the beginning easier, then the whole solve becomes easier because of it.
Okay. So I'm guessing right now the basic reason why I'm getting like 16-ish second averages is based mostly because of cube rotations and OLL, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. And then the inconsistent, at the beginning I mentioned that you can be kind of inconsistent, and now I'm sort of seeing, I think that's because of cross. Like I said, the beginning of your solve has a huge effect on how the whole solve goes. And so if you, right now, you get an easy cross, you can do that quickly, and then that makes it a good solve. But if you get a difficult cross, it takes a while. So I'd say if you can learn to make the best of the situation when you get a really difficult cross and learn how to be as efficient as possible there, and that can help with the consistency and making you faster.
Yeah. So one more thing is that during my cross, I usually don't use a lot of my inspection time. So no, actually for easy crosses I do, but for hard crosses I don't use a lot of inspection time. So I've got to work on that. So I think that's gonna make my cross a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely. And sometimes it can be difficult to force yourself to use more. What I do sometimes is I'll turn inspection on and turn on the inspection voice, and then I won't let myself start the solve until after the voice says 12 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Do you know about the voice feature for inspection?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that can be really useful.
Okay.
So that's how I'd practice making the most of your inspection time.
Okay. So the competition I'm going to tomorrow is not recognized by WCA, but I'm still hoping that I can do good.
Well, good luck. I hope it goes well for you, and you can definitely email me afterwards and tell me how you do.
Yeah, sure. You seem really nice and
Thank you.
really had fun.
I'm happy to help. So if you want to keep me updated on how your practice is going, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have afterwards.
Okay.
And I hope this was helpful.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
And I might do like maybe a few more sessions after I'm trying to do sub 10.
Oh, cool. So
Okay.
thank you. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah. And I seriously hope you improve much more and be really fast.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Thanks. Bye.